The old that's my take on the classic Kalashnikov opener. And welcome to Tuesday. It's another day in life, another day on planet Earth. What that means, I don't know. So, good Lord, wasn't it difficult yesterday? Someone said to me that they noticed a very different energy yesterday, and now I managed to remember a bit of that. Remember, we were giving it a bit of that, and now I managed to and turn it into the fireworks of possible achievement. Yeah, good stuff. I haven't even got my cans in. Hello, everyone. Nice to see you. I've got to pop the old earpieces in. I'll do that. Yeah, got so much to show you today. I'll probably only be able to do about an hour and a half because obviously I've still got to save my business. Although I'm not letting it affect me emotionally. I have removed the issue from my emotional body. And that's really what it's about. That's really what I was talking about yesterday. And I know Eckhart Tolle isn't everyone's cup of tea, but he frequently talks about that. And in my experience, it works. If you can remove the emotional pain from yourself and deal with things practically, you're halfway there. You know, all that immature sitting in it, it's nothing. Does nothing. It's less than nothing. It's less than zero. We go into negative figures, and you literally go into negative figures. So what a different day, what a different attitude, what a different approach to life. And what a small thing can, you know, that's spinning on tuppence, that is. How exciting. I'm watching a husky have a poo on the roof. That's also spinning on a tuppence. Loads of amazing scrubs in. Hair in the Gate wants to know if the stream's going to start soon. Shortly, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Hello, Kevin. Nice to see you, son. Hello, John. Good to see you. Hello, LC350. Oh, Grego thought it was the Aliens pulse rifle. I think best movie gun sounds have got to be John Wick. I mean, they're so ridiculously over the top. When I first fired a 9mm, I remember the first time I was like thinking, oh, I don't know about this. And then when it went, I was like, oh, now I'm a bit gutted. Like cap guns, didn't they? I think cap guns are a bit louder. I mean, it was a Glock 19. No, it was a Beretta, the first one I fired. Quiet little pea shooters. I mean, relatively. I'm sure if you're in an enclosed room, but I did have two Thai women in bikinis standing either side of me, so I wasn't really focusing on the sound of the gun so much. Gunsandgirls.com. Right, let me get my headphones tuned in. Wavelength accommodated and introduced. I've been up for hours. I you know what? Check this out. So because of yesterday, because of what happened with work, I got busy. We're going to have a look again at the Serenity Prayer. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but it's such a good message. Listen to this. Ready? So it starts with God, but you can fuck that off if you want. I mean, if you don't want to, you don't have to. But just listen to the message of this. Grant me the serenity, right? So the serenity, the relaxed, in control, not emotionally driven state of mind. A practical, relaxed state of mind. So grant me a relaxed, present, practical state of mind to accept the things I can't change. So if this has happened or this has happened or this has happened and you cannot do anything about that serenity, that positive, practical, relaxed, not being driven by emotional state of mind will allow you to have the acceptance of things that you can't do anything about. So situation A, it's happened. That's done. And yeah, I was like, shit. But give yourself a couple of minutes going, you fucking bastard. Give yourself a couple of minutes because it's good to get it out. But then get that serenity. Get the practical, positive position where you can accept that. I can't do anything about it. I can't do anything about that. Therefore, I have to accept it. Because if I don't accept it, it's just going to drive me mad. Literally drive me mad. Pulling my hair out, grinding my teeth all night, not sleeping, not eating. So grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. It's such a good rule for life. Just that one line, just the opening line. Grant me the serenity. Or you can drop grant me if that's not your cup of tea. Just, right, Chris, have some serenity so you can accept things you can't change. It's that simple. Second line. The courage to change the things I can. All right, so this has happened. I've done my angry bit. I've done my pissed off bit. I've blamed the world. Everyone hates me. My life shit. Right? Done that. And then I want the courage to change the things I can. So what can I do about this situation? Is there anything I can do that will help in yesterday's example with my business? What can I do? I can't do anything about that, but I might be able to do this, this, and this, which will counterbalance the negativity, will counterbalance the problems. Well, actually, okay, so we've just lost all that money. We're in a big problem. But actually, I can do this, this, and this, and that will take a bit of the weight off the damage that's done. A bit of counterbalance. So I have the serenity to accept the things I can't change, the courage to change the things I can. So what can I do? What is there anything I can do? And it might be a risk. Life is full of risks. You need to take them, or you don't get anywhere. And have the courage to think, fuck it, I'm gonna go for it. It might not pay off, but it might. And you have to weigh that up. But that's where the courage comes in. So the serenity to accept things you can't change, the courage to change the things you can, and the kicker, the wisdom to know the difference. How do I identify what I can't change and that I have to accept, and what I can change and get busy doing it? The wisdom. So the whole thing. Grant me the serenity to accept the things I can't change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And I say absolutely brilliant, not like some airy-fairy hippie, as someone who has implemented that way of thinking time and time again. I told you when I was sitting on the floor in my Soho flat, it was my dream since I was like 10 years old. When I first went to Soho, bunked off school, got a red bus Rover, and thought, I want to live here. And I finally was there, and it was my dream, and I took my eye off the ball. And one day my staff said, we ain't making any money. And I was like, eh? And he went, yeah. So I had to sack everyone, put all the stock in my room. I sat amongst just boxes and boxes. My Soho dream had failed because all that stock in my room, there was a little bit of room in the middle of the floor. It was only a fucking bedsit. I was sat in the middle of it, crying my eyes out, because not only was my Soho garret that I loved, absolutely loved, and the lifestyle I've managed to generate through the business, no, I'd fucked it. And not only had it ruined my flat, but I was going to have to move out of that flat in about a month because I couldn't afford the rent now. And that also meant going back to my mother's house. And I just thought, what have you done? But then I thought, well, hang on a minute. We need a bit of acceptance here. Okay, so this has happened. Can't do anything about this mess that I'm in. And I can't do anything about the fact that I took my eye off the ball and just was lazy, just stupid. Stupid was what I was. But then I thought, hang on, what can I do? There might be a way out of this. And I thought, first thing I need to do is get some rest. Forget about it. And I did. I just went for a long walk where I didn't think about it. I went down the National Gallery, walked around the National Gallery, looking at all the lovely. I went to the Impressionist section. Cezanne, Pissarro, Rory Bremner. Come on, it's early. Went to bed, woke up the next day, and now you can put my Rocky training montage in. Dang, 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 dang. I was like, dang, dang, dang. Sell all this stuff off at silly cheap. Use that money to buy more stock. Dang, dang, dang. And about 4 months later, I rehired the staff, got all that stuff out of my place, and could afford my rent. Turned it round, and I turned it round based on those principles of the Serenity Prayer, knowing, accepting the what had happened, having courage to take some more risks, and knowing what I could change and what I couldn't. And that's not the only time that has helped me. That has helped me when I've been literally, and I mean literally, climbing the walls with drawing. You know, it's helped me in situations that would have otherwise broken me if I didn't have those kinds of skills, you know, emotional, spiritual skills to make a difference to my situation. And because, you know, the world will conspire against you. It certainly will feel like it occasionally. I mean, it isn't. It's just doing its thing. But you are within that. You are within you are within a context where a lot of stuff is out of your control. You're powerless to change a lot of things. Look at the coof. Look, you know, you know, we're all living our lives, and this bullshit comes along, and then it's been dealt with by lunatics, power-hungry lunatics. So, you know, working out what you can and can't do within that environment is very important. And having the wisdom to know what you can and can't do about it is really important. And they're the people who are surviving in business. They're the people who are surviving in life. They're the people whose relationships are staying together. They're the people whose families are staying together. They're the people whose communities are thriving. So, yeah, you know, it's not just airy-fairy hocus pocus. I've actually used it, you know, and it's served me well. So that's a very positive opening. So the show will start shortly. I think I saw a super chat coming. I haven't even opened the doors of Griff Station. 90 people already. How lovely. How absolutely lovely. Loads of people here. Absolutely brilliant. I've got Gaffney's covered this already. I've done it a few times as well, but you know how it works. Well, John, I mentioned it the other day. It's not only the poo, but that dog's out on that roof every day having a piss. And, you know, everything counts in large amounts. After a few months of that nightclub, which is an elite, it's a nightclub for the new rich kids of Cambodia. It's like $30 a cocktail. When the average monthly wage is about $150, you can imagine the kind of clientele there. And they're a right bunch of cunts as well. We're real stuck up. But it's quite funny because the back door, which is just there, where they come out of to smoke, that's where all the pukings and cryings and rubbish little fightings happen. I just stand over there watching it. And there you go. There's alcohol doing its thing. But yeah, without a doubt, that's a lot of piss. I told you the story about the woman, the mastiff that had the pups, and they pissed the ceiling through, and the woman had her boyfriend hit her over the back, try and get money off the landlord, and he went, "Nah, looks like your boyfriend's just hit you with a lump of wood," and then it got infected because the wood had piss in it. Yeah, that's not such a good start. Hello, Eddie Haskell. Nice to see you. Grego's on the firm. Sean P's here. What's the name's in? Moral Outrage Profits in. Yeah, that's what I need. I haven't stopped thinking about it. And you know what? I told you yesterday that my missus is in a bit of trouble and had a bad day yesterday. I done the right thing. As much as I want a week to myself, I just said to her today, "Come here. Come over here. I'm not having it. I'm not having him treat you like that. Come and stay here." I said to her, I will be working. I said, I'll be doing 2 streams a day. I said, I will be writing half the night, every night. But you're welcome to come here if you can put up with that. And she said, and she started crying. And so she's coming here tomorrow, which would be lovely. Absolutely lovely. Hello, Rob. Good to see you. John Francis is also on the firm. Aramas is in. Marzipan's here. I see a gap in the lock picking. A lathe. That ain't going to get you very far. Kajetil has dropped 50 knock into the pot. Open the gate of griftation. All right, I will do that. Nice one, Kajetil. That's much appreciated. Our pal says the rehab tattoo. I'm not quite sure. Oh, yeah. I know exactly what you mean. People, they get clean in rehab and then they get the serenity prayer. Yeah, that's gross. But, you know, if it helps them, if it gives them something to look at and remind them, it doesn't look so good when they're sitting in a crack house, though. And I've seen that many times. You've got a pipe up to their mouth and you can see the serenity prayer on the arm. How's that working out for you? But nice one, Kajetil. Really appreciated. Jemima Saliva says, Chris, what if the things you could change were in the hands of someone else? What if, let's take out you. I think that's a typo. What if the things you could change were if they're in the hands of someone else, you can't change them, surely. That's something you can't change. Unless I'm not understanding what you're saying. You know. Something's happening with my vape. I might have to put some I can't even remember what it's called. Wick. I might have to re-wick my vape, but don't worry. The show will start shortly, but you'll get a better show if I can repeatedly hit my vape. But I've got some cracking clips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12. And also, let's face it. I mean, look, I can't. That's going nowhere near my lungs. And you see there's the wicks are missing on that side. That's because they're stuck up in the mouthpiece of that. Oh, no, I've just poured loads of vape juice on my keyboard. Luckily, it can take it. Well, now we're about to find out. Hang on. Apparently, this keyboard can take a pint of water. So hopefully it can take... this will be very interesting. Maybe... oh, I don't know what's happened here. Right, people, I'll be back in 30 seconds. Sorry about that. Can you confirm that I am in fact back? And like I said, the show will be starting shortly, but let me just sort this out because it'll get on my bloody wick if I don't get to re-wick it. Yeah, I'm back. Nice one, John. Appreciate Kuko. Noxious and toxic. Yeah, what, me, Sean? This won't take more than a minute. And, you know, it's Tuesday morning. No need to rush into things. But I'll tell you what a learning experience yesterday was. I haven't been that scared in a long time regarding my life situation. You know, I haven't got money stashed up. I haven't got a big backup. You know, half the reason I'm out here is for the financial benefits. That's another thing I rarely talk about when people talk about Cambodia. You know, if you can work remotely or if you've got money, well done, Grego. John Wicker, LC350 is your entry on. No, I will get, as soon as I've wicked this up, I'll get the doors of griftation open. You can donate to it, Grego, while it's not on. Not Grego, sorry. You can donate to it while it's not on, but it's better when it is. But just give me a couple of minutes. It's all I ask. It's just, you know what addiction's like. But the link is in the description and you can do it. But if you just give me a couple of minutes, we're nearly there. We're halfway through. Bosh. But yeah, I keep saying I've got a cracking show lined up because I'm aware that you're now just watching a bloke's forehead while he fucks around with his vape. Nearly there, people. Nearly there. But yeah, hello Tristan, good to see you. Yeah, one of the things about living out here is your money's worth more. So if you've got a lot of savings or something, or you've just got you've got a retirement or a redundancy, you can sort of, I don't know. Let's say you got a 20 grand redundancy. How long's that going to last you in England? Rent, eating, all the other fucking endless taxes. Whereas out here, 20 grand, you're going to have the time of your life. And that's going to go on for a considerable amount of years. And unlike Thailand, you can set up businesses out here. Cambodia is a good place at the moment for making money. There's loads of startups over here. It's done. I've just got to screw it on. Screw her. So that is always an option. Have people been checking out St. Harrison's advent calendar? Very interesting viewing. Just search for his channel. He's doing a different video every day. They're quite funny. I've also been impressed with Barclay's funny little mock battles. He done Harry of Truck Show versus Vinny. I can't think of his second name offhand. That was quite funny as well. It's good to see Barclay having a laugh. I think he got his head a bit too far into certain areas. Not that you shouldn't do that, but life is all about balance. Right, people, massive apologies for that. The show will start shortly. I'm pretty much done. I'm just going to wash the vape juice off my hands because it's really dangerous and toxic. So I'll just breathe that into my lungs and we'll be having a lovely time. Steve says, Bernard Manning today, Dange. Well, I've certainly got the fan on. Are those two things connected? Colonel Custard says, what if I took all the money, I was thinking, what? All my money and moved to Cambodia and the Chinese take over the area? Well, it would depend what Chinese take over the area means. I mean, there's plenty of Chinese businesses here. And they've certainly taken over Sihanoukville. But, where are you living at the moment, Colonel Custard? Ask yourself what other countries are investing in your country. And, ask yourself whether that's much different or any different. I mean, they are, without a doubt, economists the world over are saying that Cambodia is going to be the next Asian success story. Along the lines of Malaysia and Singapore. So it's quite something. Moslab says the longest pre-game show on YouTube. We're certainly going to start in a minute though, Moslab. Good to see you, mate. Talking to Turf TV says, hiya, Chris. You make Cambodia sound fascinating, but as a full-time wheelchair user, would I manage to access and enjoy places? No. I'm very sorry. I'm not going to fuck you about on that one. No. I mean, you can barely walk on the pavements, and I mean that. When I lived in Soho, I would go walking for 2 hours every day. I would just walk around the manor, sometimes go to Covent Garden, sometimes go to Mayfair. Every day, I'd make sure I got 2 hours walking in. I'd put a nice suit on, get my walking stick, and it was a cane. I haven't got a bad leg or anything. But you'd really struggle. How are you going to get in and out of tuk-tuks? How are you going to get your wheelchair into a fucking tuk-tuk? I'm sorry to tell you that they're way behind with that sort of thing. You could actually get your wheelchair in one of the old style tuk-tuks, of which there's still loads about. They're a bit more expensive to travel in. I mean, you know what I'd say? If you were interested, talking to Turf TV, if you were interested, give it a week. Go on holiday, give it a go. Because the worst that could happen is you'd get to spend your time in a lovely hotel with lovely weather, lovely food, not very expensive. The flight might be a bit expensive, but, give it a go. I mean, it depends, I suppose. I'm just thinking you wouldn't be able to get to my gaff, for instance, because the roads leading to it are fucking, like I say, they're kind of hard. It's hard to get up them on a scooter. You're bouncing all over the place. Maybe if you had one of those really flashy kind of sporty wheelchairs, you might be able to sort it out. But I'm just thinking, I haven't been looking especially, but I don't think I've seen anyone out here in a wheelchair. So that's probably quite a strong evidence. So yeah, that's a bit of a shame. There are 4 likes. Hello, mate. Nice to see you. Are you new on the firm? We've got a few new people. I've realised that if I actually name the channel something that I'm going to talk about, we get new people. Someone sent me a wicked video. It was an interview with the bloke that sorts out the algorithm at YouTube. So there'll be no more ridiculous channel names, simply because I'm not, I can get more people here by having actual things. And I will be talking about the fall of the United States of communism. That can sound both ways, by the way. I'm not talking about the fall of the United States. I'm actually talking about the rise of the United States. I'm talking about the current communist administration and the fall of that. And that show will start shortly. There are 4 lights says, how's the situation where you are, bud? I'm in China and no pressure for yet. Can't get back to visit my folks, though. It's breaking my lad's heart as he hasn't seen his nan in 2 years. Yeah, I've got problems getting back to see my mother, and that's going to soon become almost essential, almost necessary. I don't want to say too much, but you can get things sorted out here, if you know what I mean. So that's enough of that. But no, you wouldn't know there was a plague happening here. It's all open. It's all good. I'm a guest in this country. It's a privilege to be here. I'm a second-class citizen, as I should be, and I can't really comment on that. If you want to email me, chris@chrisdangerfield.com, I can give you a little bit more information. I think I might have missed a donation. Yeah. We ain't falling to communism, you cheeky bastard. No, you already have. And as I just said, that I'm aware that the title of this video sounds like that, but without a doubt, you've got a communist administration running your country. What I'm going to talk about is about how that administration is falling. Yeah, I should have thought about that a bit more, but you already have. But that's dying. It's over. It's already over. It's crumbling. The United States of communism is crumbling, and the midterms will be the biggest and devastating example of that. The American people won't put up for this. I have absolute faith in them, and we're already seeing so many signs in these. It's been 11, 12 months now. In these early signs, it's over for these people. So many people are running from the Dems, just jumping that sinking ship. People are flighting from Democrat states. It's over. It's fucked. Tristram is talking cryptically. He says, where isn't there everybody anymore right everywhere? How many letters? John Palmer says, man, if I wasn't with my sexy missus, I'd be in Cambodia tomorrow. Well, you could always move on to another one, John. Right. You ride tuk-tuks. I ride the pass apps because they're like $1 to get from one side of Phnom Penh to the other. You can go anywhere in one for literally about $1. I've got a scooter as well, but sometimes you don't want to get on the scooter. You want to just sit there, AirPods in, bit of music, bit of spiritualized. And they're quite good fun, the tuk-tuk drivers, because I can speak some basic Khmer. So I go, Dadrong, Bat Sadam, Bat Shway, Dadrong. And then they think I can speak Khmer. So then they talk back to me in Khmer and I go, ba, 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 ba. And we have a whole conversation where I don't understand a single word he says. No, they're good fun. Moslab says you could be, I think this was in reference to me saying you could be enjoying a nice swimming pool in the glorious weather, eating nice food on a very slim budget. He says, or on your side in a ditch with your wheels spinning in the air. I think that's a fair point, actually. So, yeah, I'm sorry about that. It's a bit of a shame. Yeah, that's good stuff. I've got a mate who lives there. I've got a mate in Shanghai and a mate in Beijing. So I'm rather up on the Chinese situation. He's telling me that the economy is in real trouble, that they're building these massive housing estates and no one's moving into them. But, you know, it's a bit close to home for me to be talking about that. So, yeah. Andrew says, I don't like city living. I much prefer the countryside. Phnom Penh is, at the moment, it won't be in a few years, but at the moment it's, you know, listen. I mean, you can probably hear the fan going. I'm in the city. Can you hear any cars? When I lived in Soho, it was a police siren 24/7. You'd know when it wasn't, because you'd go, oh, weird, there's no siren. And then, oh yeah, we're back. Whereas here, I can't hear anything. And I can get on my scooter and be in the countryside in 7 minutes. So it's rather lovely. But I lived in Soho. I do like the city, but not that city anymore. But this one's wonderful. You know, the main road through Phnom Penh is 2 lanes. Anyway, the show will start. Let me get this grift sorted out. Let's open the doors of griftation. 1 second, people. Anyway, the show. 1 second, people. A little bit of this. But yeah, I've got 12 fantastic clips. Got some great things to look at. It's going to be a cracker. An absolute cracker. Probably about an hour and a half. Where are we at the moment? 30 minutes. So probably about another hour. And some really interesting stuff to look at too. Just sorting out Entre as requested. Oh, fuck it. I've ruined it as well. Marzipan, I'm on that super chat, mate. Just let me sort out Entre. Continue. Stream already exists. Oh, exciting. Maybe that's what I'm doing at the moment. And then that, and that, and that, and that. Right, okay, Gregorian chanter, are you ready? Are you on the firm? Let me say thank you. I think I might have missed, was that Chris Air? I don't know. Dungeon from Philly. Nice one, Chris Air. Hello, Wolfie. Nice to see you, mate. Lurking today is nice. Good. Enjoy. Where else are we going? Hello, Otto. Nice to see you. Hello, Zeitgeist. He's eating. Nice. Matt D was eyeing Hanoi for a small while. Now then, I find Dangerfield who has done it. Well, Hanoi is North Vietnam. It's a bit cold up there, you know. It can get very cold. They have a winter where you're looking at Russian hats, scarf, big coat. Bear that in mind. If you're going to do Vietnam, I'd go Ho Chi Minh, Saigon, one of the two. But But yeah, no, Vietnam's lovely. The food in Vietnam is ridiculously good, and very, very cheap as well. When I went out there to see On the Offensive, we had a cracking time, sitting in bars, smoking biftas. It wasn't a snakehead cane, it was a goat's head. An ex-girlfriend had it made for me by a bloke in the Ukraine. Speaking of the Ukraine, we're going to be looking at a bit of that. That ain't great. That's not taking advantage of a weak American administration or anything. Sorry, people, I need to get some agua. Yeah, she had a hand-carved goat head cane. It's at the mother's house. I didn't think they'd let me take it on the aeroplane, mainly because it had a dagger in the handle. I thought I might be able to sneak it through customs, but, you know, don't want to get caught trying to get a knife on a plane. Right, let me get a bit of light on the situation. And then I think we can probably start the show. Oh, it's a bit blue on the crew, isn't it? I might sort that out in a minute. Let's get this doors of griftation open. Excuse me. Right, Grego, you ready, son? Oh, hang on. Ian Marr was generous enough to donate, so I will respond accordingly. Hello, Aidan. Good to see you, mate. Hello, Dennis. Nice one. Hello, Aramas. ST911. Jimmy from Fair. Good. I'm just practicing my UK insults. See you next Tuesday. Email me. I'll send you a list of them. Oh, I think I've got a burp. 1 second. Hello, Real Vincent Griffin. Hello, what's her name? Ian Marr drops a lady in the pot. Nice one, Ian. Here, I couldn't say anything I wanted to say in this message. Thanks, YouTube. It's not like I paid for it or anything. Being censor clamped. No way. They didn't let you say stuff. What, you tried to enter it and it just wouldn't have it? Jesus. So is it, I mean, bad news for you in this instant, but good news for us in general, because people, the transparency of all this is, you know, so blatant. You know, people know when they're being ruined. Nice one, Ian. Appreciated. Sorry you couldn't say anything you wanted to say. Hello, Rags. Hello, IR. If you don't hear the sirens in London, then you know they're coming for you. Police rainbows. Contenders ready? Hello, Eddie. Eddie couldn't live here because they'd have a dead Kennedy in his head every day. Yeah, I do get that a lot. I do get that a lot. People think that no one else has said that to me. In fairness, I got it more when I didn't live here, because before I lived here, I came out here on holiday. So when people go, where are you going on holiday? I go, Cambodia. They go, yeah, like the dead Kennedys. And I'd go, yes, that is the same words. There you go. I've just got rid of a bit of that blue. Right, Grego, contenders ready. Grego ready. Dangerfield ready. Let's try this. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go. All right there, people. This is how you can support this channel financially. You can become a member of the channel. Top link in the description. There's 3 strata. Join the top one. You can watch all the private streams. Join the middle one, the bottom 2. Join the bottom one, just that. It's like £1 a month or £4 a month or £7 a month. Super chat is the $sign at the bottom of the chat over there. That's quite a good one. Alternatively, you can use Entropy. If you use Entropy, you don't give any money to YouTube, which is excellent. I'll put the link in the YouTube chat now. Putter, can someone confirm that is pinned? Pinner. There you go. I don't expect to get rich from this, but I do expect a few donations because I put a lot of time, effort, energy, and passion into this. And I have to say, you're a very generous bunch. Thanks. Stop. Thank you very much, people. I don't know if that's going to beat the sub 50 of yesterday, but I did drop a couple of lines out that I thought were surplus to requirements. And I also said putter, not pinner, which I know has ruined a lot of people's days. I do apologise. Rob's saying it's slower. I dropped the subscribe star thing out, so I'm secretly dropping it in now. Subscribe star. I've got about 7 subscribe star people, and bless you. That's like a monthly thing. That link's in the description as well. Rob Actual saying slower, but Steve's saying it's faster. Grego says 47.396 seconds. Record, thanks. But putter, yeah, it's not. It's you know, this is going to have to go to the judges. People, is that a new record, or is saying putter instead of pinner? You know, this is going to the judges, which is essentially all of you. But, you know, 47 seconds. I'm still proud, you know. It's a personal, it's a PB. It's a PB. Hello, Linda. Nice to see you. Right, the show is actually going to start very shortly. Let me see what I've got to do. Here in the gate, 5 seconds? You can't penalise me 5 seconds for putter? Tristan Green says putter pinner. Meganizia wants to have the show started. No, very shortly. We will be getting on with it in a minute. Zeitgeist wants an election audit. Sean says pin is better. Moslab has penalised me 10 seconds for a lack of a hard R. Good Lord. That's 15 seconds. Well, this is an absolute catastrophe. I don't know what I'm going to do. Right, I might have to start the show, actually. Okay. I will do that. Grego says, agree. Steward's inquiry awards 5 seconds penalty. Well, plus 5 more seconds for contesting. Oh, good Lord. Next thing you know, I'm going to be out of the games. I'm going to fucking drug test me next. There will be all sorts of problems. They'll be on the phone soon. The fastest doors of griftation in the West. Anyway, thank you, Grego. That's a laugh, isn't it? Let's have a look at this. Bish, bosh, ba-ding, dang, dong, rakataka-doo, giga-dick-dack, bong. Right, I've got a couple of things I want to show you before the show starts. I'll just do a bit of that. Hello, people. Have a look at this. This is quite nice. Poing. Grego drops a lady into entre. Hi! 3 days off. Lovely. Absolutely lovely. Well, I thought I was going to have a week off of my missus, but I just could not have her. I could not see her crying. Come here, love, I'll save you. And that's that selflessness thing that I had to learn. 10 years ago, I'd have just said, no, fuck that, mate. I need a week alone. But I just thought, no, she's in bits. She's being treated badly by an absolute arsehole. What can I do about that? Get her out of that situation. And so I did. And I just said to her that I'll be working and writing. That's the only difference. And she was heartbroken she couldn't believe I'd said that, because she knows I'm not usually like that. Hello, Pick and Gaz. Good to see you. Yeah, Sean, I'm really not enjoying it. It's affected me badly. You know, it's rubbish, isn't it? It's rubbish not being able to dislike it. You know, absence makes the art grow fonder and all that. But, you know, I don't. And it's so insulting to have a dislike button with no count. Well, you know, it's so insulting. Oh, you can dislike it, but no one will know. Oh, thanks. Thanks for patting me on the edge. You'll be all right, lad. You can still dislike it, but it will have no effect in the world. You know, that is so patronizing. Oh, go on. You can make your little dislike. No, I want it to register. Oh, if you put in something into the, you know, this is like going to a comedy gig and the audience and the compere saying, right, you're not allowed to not like this. You have to laugh. Okay. No negativity. And there was a comedy gig like that. I made a video about it. And when he was interviewed, he even said the commie who set it up said it's a type of enforced kindness. Enforced kindness doesn't sound very Soviet at all. Enforced kindness. Anyway, nice one, LC350. Thanks for the lady. That's very kind of you. Hello, Anglo-Saxon. How are you today, my friend? I'll have you know, I might have to prove it to you. I've got 6 ribeyes. I bought 6 of them yesterday. Very rare for Super Duper to have so many ribeyes. I couldn't find a griddle pan yet, admittedly. I haven't had the time to go looking, really. But I've got 4 in the freezer and 2. One I'll cook today and one I'll cook tomorrow. Yeah. You said it, I did it. And you did keep saying... this is for another ribeye, so I bought 6 of them. They're like $3, $3 American dollar, $3.50, and like they're that thick and like that round. Can't go wrong with that. Bought some asparagus, bought some potatoes and carrots, got some gravy. Lovely. I'll tell you what, sitting down out here and having steak, mashed potato, carrots, bit of broccoli, but I've got asparagus instead. Because I thought the missus wouldn't be here. I won't be eating asparagus when she gets here because it tastes a bit funny downstairs, doesn't it? Ian feels like shit. What's up, man? What's happening? That ain't nice. But anyway, nice one, Anglo. Much appreciated. Good to see you. What's happening, Ian? What, just physically or mentally or all over? I mean, you're going to go through a long period of adjusting, so... you know, accept those ups and downs for what they are. You know, that's the pain of getting back to normal. And so when you feel it, whether it's physical or emotional or spiritual, whatever, that's getting back to normal. So, you know, maybe try and see it from that angle. I won't read it out. Rags! Chris, do you think they've done it because of the White House dislikes? Girlfriend's calling. I'm sure she knows I'm streaming now. Darling, I'm making a stream. Yes. I'm doing YouTube. Well, I'm going to see you tomorrow, aren't I? Yeah. All right, listen, I'll talk to you later. Okay. Listen, I've got to go. Bye, love. Bye. I love you. Mwah. Bye. Go. I don't know whether I'll be able to hear the clips now. Yeah, there you go. Hello, Mick. Nice to see you, son. Rags, I think they've done it for all the leftist stuff that's no one likes. You know, they need to justify. Let me turn my brightness up so you can see me. They need to justify trending videos that no one likes. They need to justify trending videos that have been ratioed the fuck out of. And so when you've got things on the front page that have got like 1,500 likes and 30,000 dislikes, that they can't do that, because then it's like, here, look at us, we're lying. And also that Santa Inc. thing, you know, this big new Netflix communist bullshit about Santa being an evil white man, which is all it is. You know, that got ratioed to pieces. And then they got rid of the likes on that one, the dislikes, 26,000 comments. As far as I could work out, every single one was saying this is shit. And yeah, that's why they've had to do it. That's exactly why they've had to do it. Ian says, arse guts, feeling cold, just feeling like shit. Had the 2 bob bits since 5:30 this morning. So has your subbies gone down, or are you off them completely now? That's almost certainly what that is. That's where you are, mate. But it's only going to be a couple of days here, and fuck me, you've put the heavy lifting has been done. Now it's just a question of digging deep, which I'm sure you are. Well, you are, because you're up, you're watching this, you're not running around the streets looking for a bag. Where are you with your subs? Hello, Jeff. How are you, son? Good to see you. Meganesia says, both my parents are ill with the coof and I'm fighting with everyone. Try not to fight, Meganesia. I mean, if they ain't going for it, they ain't going for it. And it's just going to grind you down. You know, I assume you've done your bit. You've told them what you know. You've probably offered them links to information. And if they ain't going there, they ain't going there. I mean, I'm making assumptions based on very little what you said, but don't fight with people. It will do you in usually. A bit of acceptance, Meganesia, goes a long way. I know that doesn't sound like much when you're in that position. Yeah, agreed, John. Get well soon, Ian. See it through, son. You've come this far. Horrible, though, isn't it? Fucking horrible. People don't get it. Oh, it's just like having a cold. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. It's really, really hard. We've got a meme for you, people. We've got a meme. Don't worry, I will get the show running soon. I'm going to have to because I'm running out of bloody time. Have a look at this. This is excellent. Share them if you got them. Share them if you got them. Marzipan says on the last gap, half a 2 mil. Yeah, I mean it's tiny, and it's tiny now. It's just give that 3 days and then jump off it. And yeah, I mean this is one of the issues with Subutex. You have your first withdrawal when you get onto it, and then you have another one when you get off of it. But as you know, they're a lot less, significantly less intense than just cold turkey for sure. Keep it up, Ian. Good stuff, mate. Right, where are we? You lot are chatting all over the place. It's hard to keep up with what you're saying. Moslab says, I'd bet on Ian every day of the week. Yeah, me too. You get the feeling the geezer's got some strength. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Yeah, good luck. Yeah, good luck, Ian. Keep it up, mate. I mean, like I say, you know this. The heavy lifting has been done. But having said that, and I say that to myself, when I've sort of got 3 weeks into a cold turkey, I always say to myself, look, you've done the fucking hard bit. However, it's that just keep going. It's just another day where I'm far from normal. And there'll be another one tomorrow. And you're not sleeping properly. You're not eating properly. And you're emotional. And it goes on and on and on. And I get that. But, like Moslab said, I'd bet on you any day of the week. And I think all the scrubs are behind you, mate. Field Marshal Dawn Browning drops 20 Australian dollars. Hoyt to that. Hello, you lovelies. It's awesome to see so many new people. Love. Wow. It's also awesome to see so many older people. I don't mean in age. Oh, you have the secret of eternal youth, Ms. Browning. It's Miss Browning, isn't it? Lovely to see you too, Dawn. Really lovely. And thank you for that donation. I've been keeping up with your channel. We watched a couple on here. We watched some gardening ones, and we watched when you went out to the rally. Was that Master Ben that you done a close up of? Don't dox him if you don't want to. Dox him if you got him. Dox him if you got him. Hope you're well, Dawn. I know it's a real struggle out in Australia at the moment. But there's a welcome, people, from Field Marshal Browning, very high-ranking scrub. So if you are new, yeah, that's Field Marshal Browning. Basil 40 says, I take it there aren't many black people on Cambodian adverts, Chris, like they're over here. No, none. Cambodian people, weirdly enough. It's 98% ethnic Khmer people, this country. Works. It's weird. It works. It works well. You can't even explain the stuff that goes on in England to them. They just can't understand it. Not because of lack of language skills either, because I use Google Translate. They're just like, why would they do that? And I say, you wouldn't believe the extent of it either. Like that meme I just showed you, and I show them TV commercials, and always a white man and a black woman, which is one of the least couples in the world, and it's the one that's pushed the most. No, they don't understand it. They literally do not they can't get their heads around it. It's like we talked about it yesterday. All these people say there's this new thing that I think I showed the video where they're talking about, kids drawing Santa Claus, and they said that should be banned and the kids should be told to draw anything because not all of the kids celebrate Christmas. And the geezer in the video said, can you imagine going to Japan and it'll be like some sort of celebrating some Japanese culture, and there was people complaining, going, no, but my kid isn't Japanese. My kid doesn't come from Japan, so you should stop doing that. We don't want Samurai Week celebrated. Don't want the kids drawing samurais because they don't all believe in that. You'd be like, fuck off. If it's called assimilation. If you live there, you do what they do there. It's fucking ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. Chrissy, you seen the Fallon and Ariana song for Masked Christmas? No, I haven't. I probably won't be able to play it without getting a block either, but I will certainly have a look at it later, and I've no doubt it's absolutely disgusting. And when it is, I'll put it on my Telegram. Nice one, Chris. I'll have a look out for that. Bush, Bing. Do this here. Oh, Haid. Is Haid in the chat? But on Entropy, is Hayden. Don't worry, people. The show's going to start very shortly. Just bit of that, bit of that, bit of that, bit of that. Hayden drops a lady into entre. He says, Odyssey seems to be gaining the most steam. Could be the YouTube killer. Yeah, I agree with you, actually. It's because they've got the live streaming aspect. Nice one, Hayden, for the donation. Because they've got the live streaming aspect, people like Salty Cracker, he does the first hour on YouTube. And I think this is what people will start doing more. Nationalists were doing it a couple of years ago, literally at this point. It started off where you'll do a live stream, then delete your video. I think Teddy Dutton still does that one. But what Salty Cracker does a bit on YouTube to build up the audience. And it's usually about 50,000, 60,000, which is ridiculous numbers. Bearing in mind the Young Turks with supposedly 5 million viewers get about 2,000 people watching them live, really. Half of them are hate viewing. And then Salty Cracker says, right, we're now going over to Odyssey, where it's going to get really spicy. And it's usually about 2/3 of the people watching him go to Odyssey. I think that's a good strategy to move over to Odyssey when you want to spice things up. I mean, my channel is growing again, and I have been making more videos. I will be making more, and I will be titling videos like today with a bit more sense, actually. And once I start building it up again, I might start doing that. I might do an hour on YouTube and then nip over to Odyssey where we can actually talk about some stuff. That might be an idea, but you do need YouTube to get the normies in. You really do. That no normies are on Odyssey. They won't even know what it is. Free Client 01 says, Dawn, you're amazing. I hope you're having a lovely day. Oh, she is amazing. Ash says, Ian Marr, great stuff. So close now. Stay strong. Here in the Gate said, last time I watched telly, there was only 4 channels. That's like the 80s. Amazing. Spybot, prayers for Ian tonight. Yeah, lovely. Hello, Napatandi. I've got an email from you that needs replying to. I am aware of that. There's just quite a lot in there. Tristan Green says, you're blowing up, baby. Well, I actually lost half of them when I had a few problems, which was my fault, but it's picking up again, which is lovely. Name Lindsay Noah says, love Dawn's little vids. Yeah, they're lovely, aren't they? What a life her and Master Ben have carved out for themselves. Absolutely lovely. Vespercheck says that Ian's killing it. Most I know have been on subbies for years. Yeah, and likewise, and methadone. And they have no intention of getting off it. And who benefits? The pharmaceutical companies. Who doesn't benefit? The drug addict who's been cured by giving them drugs forever. If you're going to do that, why don't they just give them heroin? It's just ridiculous. I always had that struggle in rehabs. Right, we're going to bring you down on methadone. Yeah, but why don't you bring me down on heroin? Because that's what I'm addicted to. Yeah, well, we're going to bring you down on methadone. Yeah, but it's harder to come off. So you're actually making the problem bigger. Well, if you don't like it, you know where the door is. It's not a question of liking it, darling. I'm here because I need help getting off of heroin. And the first thing you said to me, my treatment, is that you're going to make coming off of that harder. Thanks. Nice one. Who do I sign? Who do I make the check payable to? Twats Anonymous or something? Absolutely absurd. Mick King says, Ian, you are close, mate. It's just a case of passing time. But yeah, Mick, that time goes like this. Here's the second hand. 1, 2, 1. And you're like, fucking hell. I've got another 3 weeks of this. It is hard. Kujetel says Norway was 90% Norwegians in 1980. Now let me see if I can find Kujetel's next comments. Oh, so now it's around 80. Yeah. Well, Tony Blair, look at pre-Tony Blair Britain. Look at post-Tony Blair. Bolpheus Maximus version 3 says, oi. Hello, mate. Nice to see you. Otto says, Japan does have gauging in ads, mostly Europeans, though. There's that very funny Japanese advert where an African man goes round her house and round this Japanese girl's house. And she puts him in the washing machine and pours washing powder on him, closes the lid, presses a button, and it sort of goes, bring, opens the door, and a Japanese bloke comes out, white. And then she's in love with him. That's a real advert on Japanese telly. Let me see if I can find it, actually. I think it's Japanese. Let me have a look. It's hard to know what to search for, really. Yeah, I found it. Yeah, have a look at this. It's not. We can quit the bullshit build up. That's totally unnecessary. I don't think you're going to have audio because when my missus rung, she screwed everything up. Hang on. Oh, bollocks. Sorry, people. The show's going to start very shortly. We'll be there in a minute. Hey, what? I didn't press that. I think my computer survived the vape juice drop for now. Yeah, I found it. So have a look at this. I think this is Japanese. We'll certainly find out. Apparently, this is racist, but nonetheless, hilarious. Check it. If someone could give me an audio check, that would be handy. I don't want it missed. 1 second. 1 second. Crypto Lover, I'm on that. I'll deal with it after this little clip. Audio check would be handy. Here we go. Cheers, Rags.
Like, what century
Oh, listen to what he says.
are we in? This is, again, a laundry soap commercial. It began airing in China this month.
China,
Fair to
sorry.
say reaction on social media, swift and harsh.
Yeah, not from the Chinese, though. They didn't give us fucking shit. There you go. Yeah, when it's backlash on social media was really harsh, not from the Chinese. And didn't get banned. No, fuck it. They do what they want. You know what? They're a Chinese country. It's weird, isn't it? They can do what they want in China. What the hell happened to Europe? Crypto lover drops a 10-bit. No other reason than keep up the being. Sorry, mate. I'll try again. No other reason than keep up the being real. Hoit to that. Nice one, crypto lover. Got any tips? I'm hearing it's worth no longer hodling your BTCs and getting Ethereum. Thank you, mate. Much appreciated. Meccano, Caprosha, Tatuti. Hayden, did I actually thank you for your entropy whilst I was dealing with it? Yeah, it was Chinese. Sorry about that, people. I can never remember whether a Peter Griffin joke. I can never remember whether the Chinese are the ones with the angry eyes or the sad eyes. Oh no, it's angry eyes or sad eyes. Come on, YouTube. It was on Family Guy. Let me off. Yeah, fun advert. Okay, so I'm gonna show you a couple of things, and then I'm gonna start the show. So this is very interesting, and for me, hello Lee. For me, this kind of signals in a way. This is like a cultural art, not an artifact. This is like a cultural signal of the changing landscape of America, of the sort of pushback to the current communist administration. Mike Rowe and John Rich have beaten Adele. Now, to beat Adele, you have to look at to understand how massive that is. You have to look at how many downloads or views or listens Adele's new song has had on Spotify. It's in the hundreds of billions. Let's have a look on you just to see a new song on YouTube and how many views that's got. Hang on. The song's called Easy on Me. It's a beautiful song. She sings it absolutely beautifully. 190 million views on the official video, 21 million on the official lyric video, 26 million on live at the NRJ Awards. You know, and it just goes on. 480,000, 880,000, 1.2 million, 11 million on another. You know, to beat her at the moment with that song is going some. So when Mike Rowe and John Rich are top of the iTunes charts, which not only means people have watched it like YouTube, they've also shelled out $1.29. It's quite something. And I'm going to play you a little bit of their song. This song is currently #1 of the iTunes charts, beaten Adele. And, you know, it's not a great song by any means, but symbolically, this is America on the turn because it's so American. It's so white America. It is. There's no disputing that. And there's no problem with that. You know, check it out. I've moved it straight to the song. I can't play too much of it for obvious reasons. I probably can't play any. But I'd assume these blokes are kind of all right and they won't block me. Check it out. It isn't Let's Go Brandon. That has had its moment. There was 4 Let's Go Brandons in the top 10 of the iTunes charts for a while. No, this is a Christmas song. Yeah, check it out. Audio check, please.
Santa Claus got a dirty job. Santa Claus got a dirty job. Santa Claus got a dirty job, and he does it all night long.
Tell him about it, Mike.
Well, every year old Santa Claus loads up in his sleigh, and them reindeer running in front of him kick mud up.
There you go. You get the idea. So, you know, you can see my point. That is very America. And along with the gubernatorials, along with the Rittenhouse situation, along with the amount of Democrats, well, there's been a black Democrat has moved to the Republicans. That's happened. Loads of Democrats are fleeing the sinking ship. And for me, that song and its position is symbolic of the fall of the communist administration. They're fucked. It's over. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I don't want to show you that one just yet. Don't worry, we're going to start shortly. Yeah, we'll have a little look at this. This is a little bit of Hannity. We're not going to watch all of it, but very interesting material. I'm getting a bit of buffering, but maybe that'll stop when I start playing it. I hope so. Otherwise, my computer's going to crash.
All right, now let's turn to another crisis brewing inside the Biden administration. That is the crisis that is known as competence. Tonight, with a steady stream of resignation, the vice president's office is in a state of turmoil.
A steady stream of resignations. Why would you do that? Why would you resign if you're in government? You know, you're a power-hungry Democrat. Why do you resign? To save your political career. Because that ship is going down. That is over. They know it. This is lunacy, what's happening in America. And I don't use that word flippantly. It's madness. Everyone, all analysis of the current administration leads to madness and the destruction of America. And these people want nothing to do with it. A steady stream of resignations. People are like, I don't want to be associated with this lot. I don't want my name to go down in history as being part of this lot who are blatantly looking to destroy the USA. That is not up for debate. That you cannot say anything else. That is without doubt what is happening. Hello, Saint Just Germany. There's 170 of us over on YouTube, but you might have Jays over there keeping you company. I don't know. But nice to see you on Twitch nonetheless. Listen to a bit more of this. It's very interesting. I'll take it back a little bit for context.
The stream of resignation, the vice president's office is in a state of turmoil. This, as many other former and current staffers are now complaining about what they describe as a mean, hostile work environment. According to reports, multiple individuals describing Kamala Harris as a, quote, soul-destroying bully. Who'd
have thought the laughing hyena, the giggling banshee behind closed doors was a soul-destroying bully? What a surprise. Mr. MF says the commie ship is headed for the bottom. That's going down faster than the Titanic, mate. It's incredible. And it is good news. You know, it's a terrible shame it had to come to this. They shouldn't have got a fucking week in power, let alone a year. But, you know, thank fuck America America was awake anyway. But thank fuck they're doing something about it. And when the people in the administration are doing something about it, good luck. I mean, this administration is going to go down in history as... I don't like the clown world thing, but it's like a circus, isn't it? They come out with their silly outfits on, the door falls off the car. It's just absurd. Absolutely absurd. You know, Russia's got something like 60,000 troops on the Ukrainian border. Oh, I wonder why. Do you reckon they'd have done that? Do you reckon they'd have started? Apparently, there's going to be about 140,000 there by the end of the week. Oh, I wonder why. I wonder whether a weak America has got anything to do with that. I wonder why China are flying bombers and jets around Taiwan. Reunification. I wonder whether you do that when there's a weak, not only a weak administration, but a communist one. People who are on your side, people who've got your beliefs. The weird thing is, the current American administration that they call progressive is more communist than the neo-Soviets and the Chinese. That's the bizarre thing about it. They are doing more. They are reading from the communist playbook more than the neo-Soviets and the Chinese. And so, of course, they're going to take the piss out of them. Fuck it. Do what you want now. America's spinning on its ass.
Is lashing out at her own staff for her own failures. With reaction from the Trump organization, Eric Trump. So Joe is in the mid-30s, in terms of approval. Kamala is even lower than that.
Mid-30s. I mean, I can't believe Kamala's even got an approval rating. That ain't even worth filling in the form, is it?
28%. There's not a single thing I think they can point to, Eric, that says, oh, this is really working. We're doing a really good job here.
And that is a really, really interesting point. There is not a single thing, not one thing the commies can point to and say, look how well this is going. I mean, I'm up for being proved wrong. If anyone in the chat can give me an example, because it could be, maybe I just haven't seen that news. Maybe I'm biased with my, where I get my news from. But is there? Can anyone name one thing where you'd go, no, that's good for America? And bear in mind, people, if it's good for America, it's good for the world. If it's bad for America, it's bad for the world. You might not like that, but that's the case. We live in we're a hierarchical species. Someone has to be at the top. And you might not like that, but I'd rather it be America than fucking China, I can assure you. I'd rather it be America than the neo-Soviets, I can assure you. Not one thing. Not one. The Pro, nice one on that 10-bit. Tickle Fanny Feather ink. Tickle Fanny Feather. I don't know what that means, but nice one. Cheers. Thank you, the Pro. You've been very generous recently. It's excellent. One thing. I'll take it back so that we can get that and hear what our boys got to say about it.
Thing I think they can point to, Eric, that says, oh, this is really working. We're doing a really good job here. Unless you could point it out.
No, that's right. I mean, listen, Sean, try and be a White House comm staffer when you can't deliver a single victory, not a single policy victory. You've got the worst inflation that we've seen in 30 years. You've got a horrible jobs number.
I mean, listen to this. Like, he's right. Not a single victory. Listen to this list of things.
Victory. You've got the worst inflation that we've seen in 30 years. You've got a horrible jobs number. You saw that, 210,000 jobs. The worst jobs number we've seen in a long time. As you just pointed out, China and Taiwan, Russia trying to take Ukraine, mess on the southern border. I mean, where do you want me to stop? Rampant crime all across this country, right? People still, massively out of work in this country.
And not only are they massively out of work, but the administration is paying them more than what they would have got if they were at work. Oh, that sounds good. Oh, free money. Yeah, but it ain't free money. It's putting the power in the corporations. It's closing down the small businesses. It's just so cuntish. And again, so transparent. And I tell you what, I say it every fucking day, if they were just a little bit cleverer, they could have fucked the USA forever. But luckily, they just were just around that 65, 67 IQ. They just didn't have that extra thing to say, slow it down, let's spread this out over 4 years. No, they got power mad. They got power hungry. They munched it like fucking Caligula at an orgy. And everyone's seeing it. Everyone is seeing it. And good, because that's what needs to happen.
I mean, it's a disaster. They don't have a single thing that they have accomplished. They don't have a single thing that they've done well. And you know what? A very easy, secret. People want to play for the winning team, right? There are no wins. These people aren't delivering any wins. This is a losing team, and it's not shocking that they know Biden won't run again. They know Kamala is no longer kind of the darling child
Biden's barely walking at the moment. I can't see him running again.
that she used to be. And so what's their future in the White House? They probably want to go back into private industry, which I completely understand. And that's why people are fleeing, left and right.
Exactly, absolutely, exactly my point. Get out now, or you're going to be tainted with being part of the worst administration in American history. These people are making W look amazing.
There's no doubt every hostile regime studies the United States. They have concluded the obvious, and that is that Joe Biden is in a serious, significant, precipitous cognitive decline. Now, we can also see Nancy Pelosi struggling herself,
AKA, he's mental.
when it comes to her ability to communicate. Then we got third in a little out of order, but the vice president that is clearly not up to the job. So now all these hostile regimes, as we were just discussing,
and they haven't even mentioned the fact that under Trump they were not only energy independent but fucking selling the stuff. They were selling it. And now you've got Biden begging OPEC to produce more oil, and OPEC have said no, go fuck yourself. Imagine begging the likes of Iran and Saudi Arabia. I mean, what does that do? What does that do for the USA? Oh, you want more? Well, what's in it for us? That's what it will be. That's what's blatantly happening undercover. Please make more oil. Well, maybe. What are you going to do for us? And Biden will get to a point where they'll say fucking anything, because they'll have to. Because when that gas price keeps going up and up, what's he going to do? What's he going to do when OPEC are just going to go, no? And they're in that position where they can. Because the only other option is to go back to the situation Trump had. And you think they'll do that? No. It's incredible. What a weak bunch of absolute pussies these people are.
Want to take full advantage of a weak America and with no real leadership and no ability seemingly to engage in a way that would be significant to anybody's benefit.
Yeah, that's right. And they all disappear. I always say, why is it that this administration always disappears? You have Pete Buttigieg, right? Whenever there's a crisis at the ports, guess what? He's on paternity leave. And, Kamala Harris, who's supposed to be taking care of the southern border, guess what? She goes over to Vietnam when there's a crisis on...
I don't think she's even been there. Anyway, you get the idea. Go and check out the rest of that. It's amazing. Mousecat, hello, mate. Nice one for the donation. It could be some have a conscience and know that something evil is afoot. Don't want to face the Nuremberg trials. Yeah, they have to. If you stay in this administration until what will undoubtedly be a bitter end, that's you for life. That you were that. There's no escaping that. You're not going to get. Most politicians, once they've left government, they go into corporations. They get involved in corporations because they've got contacts. No one's going to employ anyone who stays in this pathetic communist trash until the undoubtedly bitter end, because no one will want them. No one's going to want those people associated with them. Who are your contacts? Fucking loads of dodgy gangsters in the Ukraine. I've said it so many times. The old stammer getting on there. I've got a bit of the Bidens. I've said it many times. I've said it so many times, I forgot what I was going to talk about. What was I saying? Fuck it. Don't worry. I suppose I should start the show. That might happen. In much the same vein, thank you, Mousecat, for that donation. Much appreciated. In much the same vein, it's worth having a look at this and would tap both, which is always handy. Here we go. Check out a bit of this.
So the big question is, how should the U.S. respond to Russia's military buildup here? Nebraska Republican.
Sorry about the volume there, people. Can someone tell me you've got audio?
So the big question is, how should the U.S. respond to Russia's military buildup here? Nebraska Republican Senator Deb Fischer is a member of the Armed Services Committee. She joins us now. Senator, welcome. There's big questions and concerns, in fact, over Afghanistan 2.0, that based on how the president led us through that Afghanistan withdrawal, that we can see a similar disastrous situation happen when it comes to Russia invading Ukraine. Where do your concerns lie?
Well, it's obvious to all that the United States and Russia are seeing growing tension, and it's because of Russia's action toward Ukraine. Ukraine reports that there's about 94,000 Russians on its border.
94,000 Russian troops on the border. Otto says, more makeup than a clown. That's how I like him, Otto. That's what I like, son. Anyway, 94,000 and more coming.
Right now, this is a sovereign country, and you have Russians amassing on its border. That is projected to grow to about 175,000 troops that will be there, 100 battalions.
Fucking hell, man. 100 battalions. I can't imagine why they're doing that now. Can't imagine. And look, I don't know this. Obviously, I don't know this, but I wouldn't put it past Biden and Putin having already discussed this. I would not put it past them having already discussed this, and Putin saying, "I'm gonna load up that border with troops and scare the shit out of the Ukraine and force them into yielding to the neo-Soviet experiment." And Biden going, "Yeah, crack on. Crack on. If you'll do this for us, without a doubt. I don't think this would be playing out much like this under Trump, for instance.
They will have missile capabilities, armor, and that is obviously a concern not only to the United States.
No shit. Phil, tell me more, Moslab. I don't know anything about that. I've got a wicked clip of Trump about Miley. I'll play it after this, but I don't know about that. If you can give me a bit more info on that, that'll be much Shano Caprusci Tutti. Nice one, Matt D. Weak men equals bad times. Yeah, and that is showing itself like never before. Incredible. Let me see if Moslab's got anything else on that yet. Okay. That's really interesting, Moslab. Yeah, a little bit more of this.
States, but to the world at large. I was recently in London and in Brussels and in Eastern Europe, and yes, there is definitely concern from our allies about the handling of Afghanistan by this administration.
The handling of Afghanistan, bombing children, there's still Americans in Afghanistan, still there, running around, hiding in basements. Help us out, America. No, I can't. I'm too busy. Most delightful. Absolute madness. And, okay, fair enough. I was thinking, wow, this is massive. Why haven't I seen that? However, yeah, no, I know that happened without a doubt. Yes, that was. Yeah, Miley rung him up and said, yeah. He basically said, this was under Trump. He basically said to him, "Don't chill out." He basically said, "I'll fill you in. If anything's stirring that will affect anything you do, I'll let you know." He's still got his job. I mean, it's the definition of high treason. But when you've got a communist administration, this is what happens. It's happened. This is all happened before. This has all got historical precedence. This is how it works, and it's the transparency of it is what's amazing. The information age, and people are getting stupider. European people peaked at, I think it was towards the end of the 19th century, and we've been getting stupider since. And there's a massive dip around 1990, probably to do with Oasis. But because we're being hypnotized by all this news. We're being, sitting there on your phone all day. I've got a little clip about boredom being good for you in a minute. I'm going to show you when I start the show properly. I'll show you that clip, and it's like a hypnotization. Adam Curtis's Bitter Lake is definitely worth watching. I don't want to show you that now. I will show you this little Trump clip. This is amazing. Trump here talking about General Miley, the communist military leader in America, or is it China? It's hard to say anymore. This is 40 seconds long, but believe me, it's worth listening to. Check it out. The last thing he says is awesome. So Trump talking about Miley, right?
You got a $50 million airplane. You got a $29 million.
So sorry, because it's a little bit hard to hear. He's talking about leaving all the weapons in Afghanistan, right? And the fact that Miley said it's cheaper to leave them there. I mean, the fact that they're talking about it in financial terms anyway is ridiculous. Oh, it's cheaper to leave all those helicopters, night vision, just an incredible array of technology. It's cheaper to leave it there. Well, it might be financially cheaper to leave it there, but in a military sense, I think it might end up costing a lot. And I'll tell you now, that money, those weapons were left in Afghanistan deliberately to protect the opium crop. Without a doubt. Anyway, so that's where he's going at the beginning. But this really does hit hard. It's good. You'll like it. It puts a smile on your face.
$50 million airplane. You got a $29 million gorgeous helicopter. We had every type of helicopter. Many of them brand new, literally out of the box. 28, 29 million. We have $60, $70 million planes. You mean you think it's cheaper to leave it there so they can have it than it is to fill it up with a half a tank of gas and fly it into Pakistan or fly it back to our country? You think, yes, sir, we think it's cheaper, sir. That's when I realized he was a fucking idiot.
Talking about Miley, that's when I realized he was a fucking idiot. It's amazing. I miss Donald Trump so much. Absolutely miss him. Right, the show's going to start very shortly, people. I've got a little thing I want to show you first. Let me see if I can find it. Where is it? Oh, I've already shown you that. Pause. Okay, this is worth a little watch. We won't watch all of it. This is some mad as a box of Frody. He's on Millennial this year. Well, I'm only going to show you the first couple of minutes, first sort of 20 seconds. You'll get the idea. It's the intro to a Steve Turley video, but check it.
A new billboard featuring Kamala Harris and Sleepy Joe as Dumb and Dumber is going viral. In this video, we're going to look at the billboard that's breaking the internet as we speak. We're going to see the latest on the Democrats jumping ship, not just from Kamala Harris's administration, but from Congress as a whole. And stick with me to the very end of this video when I'll reveal the latest Democrat to switch parties and what it all means for the bloodbath that awaits them in the 2022 midterms. You are not.
all good, all good. Dumb and Dumber. yeah. I'm never 100% Aramas. You've always got to give yourself a little bit of room for maneuver, but it's almost certain, isn't it? It's almost certain. That's incredible. That's incredible. So much in that few seconds there. Everyone jumping ship, the soul destroying, the resignations piling up, Dumb and Dumber. Absolutely awesome. Your friend of mine, Memeology 101. It wouldn't be a Dangerfield stream without one. I will be starting the show shortly, but just quickly, we'll have a little bit of Memeology 101. This is brilliant.
That's 100% a lie.
Let's go, Brandon. Southwest has a hot mic. Go, Brandon. Who's spraying? Let's go, Brandon. Let's go, Brandon. Let's go, Brandon. Let's go, Brandon.
So if you don't realise what's going on there, that one geezer said it, and he's got to be fired, and of course they're all doing it now. Or they're all the flight traffic controllers, all the people coming in. Yeah, we're coming in at the airport now. Okay, let's go, Brandon, and no one's getting fired. It's amazing, right? So I've talked on this channel previously about doing nothing. I've talked about meditation. And I even wrote a short story on my Substack. If you enjoy reading short stories, I've got a Substack. There's 13 stories on there at the moment in the archive. Link in the description. I'll never monetize it. It's doing very well. My last story got 1,890 reads in the first 24 hours, which is huge for me. So link in the description. If you put your email in, each new story I write, which will be one a month, roughly, maybe two occasionally, will be emailed straight to you. You'll be really helping me out if you subscribe to Substack. So if you want to help us out for providing wonderful streams, sign up to my Substack. Link in the description. Stacker. Thank you, Schrodinger's cat flap. He says they're great. Yeah, they're getting great comments. You know, there's a few negative comments from one bloke, but he sobers up in the morning and deletes them and just keeps telling me that I should read Bukowski. And I'm like, yeah, I was a drunk 18-year-old once and thought Bukowski was the only writer in the world too. But he disappears. But in one of the stories, I looked at the idea of getting bored. And how in today's culture, you're almost not allowed to get bored, and getting bored doesn't mean you haven't got anything to do. It just means you don't want to do any of those things, and doing nothing, which is the expression, which is the human expression of boredom, is doing nothing. You know, you could be sitting in front of a computer. You could have a video games here. You could have a board game here. You could have friends around, but you're bored, and you just do nothing. They don't like that. That doesn't help the corporations one bit, and it's almost verboten. We live in a culture where it's almost verboten. I remember as a kid saying to my mum, "I'm bored," and she'd go, "Bored? You don't know what bored is?" When we were kids. And it's like you get told off for being bored. And what I'm saying now is in today's culture, in today's corporatist culture, they don't want that. And they want that idea of being punished for being bored, you know, magnified 1,000 times. It's just not good for them, for people just doing nothing. And it's very hard to do nothing. This is why meditation is so important to me and a lot of people. And meditation just means doing nothing. Just concentrate on your breathing. That's it. It's not difficult. The hard thing is starting it because of the culture we're in, because of the culture of engage. Look at this, fear of missing out. Look at this. Everyone who watches YouTube does not fill the screen with the video. You always have the things down the side. Why do you do that? I thought we like to have big screen, widescreen TVs. But we tend to have the suggested videos down the side. That is a work of marketing genius. Why have the little bit in the middle? Because there's that fear of missing out. What else is available? Where can I go next? I want that there. And they want to keep you there. That's what the likes are about. That's what thumbs up on your Facebook posts are about. Oh, how many have I got? Check this, check my Instagram, check my Facebook, check my Twitter. Keep engaged. Consume. Put your information in. You know, social media is free. Well, if social media is free, you're the product. You know, this is basic. So when I watched Vertasium's video, why boredom is good for you, I was very interested. We won't watch all of it, but the first couple of minutes is relevant to what I've been talking about recently, about doing nothing and about boredom. And into that, I will put meditation as well. Now, check out some of this.
Part of this video was sponsored by LastPass. Stick around to the end for a word from our sponsor. In a recent study, participants were placed in a room for between 6 and 15 minutes. They were given nothing except a button that they knew would shock them if they pressed it. They were asked to entertain themselves with their thoughts, but they could self-administer the shock if they so chose. So what happened? Well, 25% of women and 67% of men shocked themselves. This is despite the fact that they had previously told the experimenters that they would pay money to avoid the shock.
That in itself is mind-blowing. You know, they said they'd pay money not to be shocked. And 75% of men, was it, and 30% of women, they couldn't do it. They couldn't just sit with themselves. They'd rather give themselves an electric shock than do nothing. And what that says about our culture at the moment is massive. You know, just be with yourself. Just be with your thoughts. Be who you are. Disconnect from the endless corporate aggression. Can't do it. Oh, I'd rather have an electric shock than be with myself. But that isn't even the point I'm showing you this video. That's just another bizarre reality of where we are at the moment.
Apparently, they'd rather experience physical pain than just be bored, to have nothing to keep them occupied but their thoughts.
But they are not alone. Around 95% of American adults report participating in some leisure activities over the past 24 hours. But only 17% say they spent any time at all just relaxing and thinking. Because that, apparently, is boring. And being bored is unpleasant.
And also unwanted. Also on the verge of being forbidden. And that is shocking.
So what is boredom? Well, contrary to popular belief, it's not when you have absolutely nothing to do. It's just when none of the options you have available to you appeal to you. Boredom is characterized by a lack of concentration, restlessness, but also feeling lethargic. It's really a state of being underwhelmed. And there are now more ways than ever to avoid boredom.
With Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, not to mention my chronic news habit, waiting in line, sitting in a coffee shop, stopped at a traffic light, many people reach for their phones to stave off boredom. And nowhere is sacred.
Do you ever just let yourself be bored? No, I generally don't.
But are we losing anything by avoiding boredom?
And just think about what that means. No time to just be with yourself. Fill it up. And what are people filling it up with? Marketing, advertising, information, and dominant information. What is dominant information? It's the hegemony. It's propaganda. So rather than be with yourself and just think, spend a bit of time being as local as you can be. You know, I talk about taking a personal inventory occasionally, where I just sit and consider how I've been behaving, how I've been with other people, you know, how I am as a person. And yet people don't. They'd rather be propagandized. They'd rather have their life commodified and sold to advertisers. It's huge.
Well, scientific research says yes. And what we're losing is important.
When you're bored, your mind wanders. That's only natural. The state of boredom is one where your attention is not focused on anything in particular. Researchers have shown this mind wandering is useful for creativity. They gave study participants a random boring task. The most boring one, reading the phone book. Then they asked participants to be creative, generate as many ideas as they could for what you could do with a plastic cup. Those in the most boring read the phone book condition generated the most creative solutions compared to less bored controls.
A major reason many researchers suspect that we experience boredom is because it gives you an indicator of your current state. I mean, if you find yourself feeling bored, you know something about that situation isn't working for you.
And there you go. Amazing, amazing. And this is why I suggest you meditate. It's not hocus pocus. It's not airy fairy. Just be on your own. Sit comfortably. You don't have to get in a lotus position. Just sit comfortably. Close your eyes and just focus on your breathing. Your mind will wander. Just bring it back to your breathing. Start off with 5 minutes a day. And the results you'll get from 5 minutes a day after about 3 days will change your life. I promise you. And then start doing 10 minutes. Once you can get up to about 45 minutes, life changing. I mean it. And that time spent meditating will make your ability to apply yourself to things that you care about improve no end. Because you're getting out, you're getting rid of the rubbish, you're getting rid of the noise, the constant noise that the corporations are drilling into our heads. It's a really interesting video. It's called "Why Boredom is Good for You." It's on the Veritasum channel, and there's about that. I've only showed you about a quarter of that video, so go and check it out. But I beg you to try and meditate for 5 minutes. It's not complicated. A Buddha told me how to do it. Just shut your eyes, concentrate on your breathing. When your mind wanders, bring it back to your breathing. Just try 5 minutes. Just try it. What the worst that can happen is you'll come out the other end the same as you went in. That's all that's at risk. I'm going to start the show in a minute, but first of all, this is madness. Again, I wish I could offer more to this. I wish I could say more, but this is just, propaganda is a hilarious thing, because once you know you're being propagandized, the transparency of it is just ridiculous. Mark says, isn't that what going to bed is? No, because if you sleep when you're meditating, that's a different thing, because concentrating on your breathing and staying awake is part of it. Going to sleep is a very different thing. Yeah, it's like when I do yoga, I'll meditate when I do the corpse pose, which is just laying on your back at the end. And my yoga teacher, my first yoga teacher, said to me, the hardest pose in yoga, and trust me, there are some fucking hard poses. Like there's some that I can't even do, and I'm exceptionally flexible. I can touch my elbows on the floor and my legs straight, right? So, most people can't even get their hands on the floor, but there's some I can't do. And this yoga teacher said to me, the hardest pose is corpse pose, just laying on your back and not falling asleep after 45 minutes yoga. And so, no, don't confuse it with sleep. If you do it and you concentrate on your breathing, you'll see. And then, just don't try and overdo it. Don't go, oh, I'm going to do 30 minutes. Just do 5 minutes. And then don't worry about what happens or what didn't happen. 5 minutes the next day, 5 minutes the next day. Once you can do that, and it ain't easy doing nothing for 5 minutes, because we live in a culture where we've been trained out of that. Then try and do 10 minutes. And once you get up to about 30, 35 minutes, your life starts changing. And for the better, your ability to concentrate, your ability to do things you want to do, your ability to fight through procrastination and laziness, you'll notice it. You'll notice it. And like I say, if you don't, okay, you've lost nothing. You've lost 5 minutes. Delane was here when the Schenken beckons. Nice one, Delane. Prasha Coco. See you later, Steve. Take care, mate. Have a good day. Right, shortly I'm going to get this show on the road, but check out this bit of mad propaganda. This is mind-blowing that they're even trying this. Again, the transparency of this administration is what just blows my mind. Field Marshal Dawn Browning sitting here chopping up waste vegetable matter and gathering next season's seeds isn't boring. It's why I miss so many live streams here and elsewhere. Wow. Well, you can chop up your waste vegetable matter with your headphones in, Dawn. Is that what you're doing now? But understandably, you don't always want to be doing that because you might have Master Ben who want to talk to you. Oh, wait, take those fucking earphones out, woman. You're meant to be my wife. Nice one, Dawn. Thanks for the donation and the comment. Right, check out this madness. Again, sorry, I can't add anything else to it. It's just lies. Just lies. An audio check will be handy.
The White House on offense this weekend, sharply criticizing some...
It's really weird to hear Brian Stelter's actual voice, isn't it? Obviously, that's not his actual voice. They've used an octaver on that. They've used a whammy pedal to take it down a couple of octaves. Here we go.
The White
Cheers,
House
Mark.
on offense this weekend, sharply criticizing some major news outlets. It's the president doing it, it's the chief of staff, it's press aides, all seemingly speaking out about what they see as too much negativity in the news coverage.
This is the pot calling the kettle black.
Here's Biden's chief of staff, Ron Klain, suggesting that we all should read this Washington Post story. It is by Dana Milbank. I'll show it to you in a second. Here's another Biden aide. Here's Rapid Response Director Mike Gwynn calling out reporters for not asking more about the jobs report on Friday, instead asking about Biden's cold. Of course, both are important, one more important than the other. I mentioned Dana Milbank. Here's his column for the Post this weekend, getting lots of buzz from liberals on Twitter. He says journalists are contributing to the murder of democracy. And he says he has data gathered by an artificial intelligence.
This is mad. Yeah, no, you aren't dreaming. You are not dreaming. You are not meditating. This is CNN saying that the media is being anti-Biden. I just don't know what to say. Look at that clip. The media treats Biden as badly or worse than Trump. Oh yeah. I mean, that's certainly my experience of what's been happening. It's worse than the way they. I mean, the fuck. Really, what the fuck? The old gender-neutral potato head. I don't know how he can keep a straight face while he's saying that. Madness.
Machine to show that the press has turned more negative against Biden than the press was against Trump at this time in Trump's first year. What do you think about that?
I think you're lying.
Does it ring true to you?
No.
I think it rings true to my next guest. Let's bring him in. Eric Bollert, he runs the Press Run blog, and he's here with me. Eric, thanks for coming on the program.
Oh, thanks for having me. And
he runs the Press Run blog. Oh, okay. Okay.
And I think it's very convincing that Biden actually is getting worse coverage now than Trump.
Bruh. I mean, just for fuck's sake. But I mean, hang on a minute. I am seeing some negative reporting about the commies. That is happening. But come on. That you don't even shut up. Shut up. Right. Now it's today's toxic masculinity. Sorry, Mark, still ain't done it. I ain't had a moment to myself. I got 20 minutes to myself last night, and that's when I weirdly meditated. I have got to try and show you one screen's visuals, and I'm going to play a Household, my band, track for the audio. So I'm going to have to somehow see if I can work this out. So the music's probably going to start first, and then I'm going to shunt the YouTube screen over it. Let me know in the chat if it's working. Let me know if you can hear, because I want to play the clip, but the music's copyrighted, so I can't play it. But if I turn the music down and play other music, I think I can do it. Don't worry, anyone. We're nearly in 2 hours. The show is going to start. The grift has been fair to middling, but that's all right. So let me see if I can work this out. So the music will start, and then I'm going to try and shunt another screen on top of it. So here we go. Go.
Picking a bird up, getting rough on the good stuff. Only white rats know what to do. Puking on train tracks, dropping my porno mags. Only white rats know what to do. In the meantime, I'm gonna fly. What about you?
Yeah, it's working!
If you want some, I'm gonna try something new. Picking up plastic things, trying for another lick. Only white rats know what to do. I'll give you the shirt on my back for a quick go on your rock pipe jack. Only white rats know what to do. In the meantime, I'm gonna fly. What about you? If you want some, I'm gonna try something new. Ow. Feeling like a Peter Pan with a chisel in your back and a knife in your hand. Only white rats know what to do. Puking on train tracks, forget my porno mags. Only white rats know what to do. In the meantime, I'm gonna fly. What about you? If you want some, I'm gonna fly. Something new. It's so exciting, so inviting. I gotta get my rocks off. What about you? What about?
And there you go. That was today's toxic masculinity. Good Lord, I feel like some kind of editor experience show. Right, the show is about to start. Right, where are we going? Check this out. This is 2 minutes 25, but watch this. This will interest you. Now, I am not a medical expert. This show is for entertainment purposes only, and I hope you've been entertained. Don't forget, people, if you like reading short stories, please sign up to my Substack. Do that for me. You might enjoy them. They're fucking brilliant. True stories. They're not just some old shit that I made up. They're really weird things that happened to me. Nice one, Moslow. Went all right, wasn't it? It's quite the race, that. Meganesia Shan drops hundreds are. Hello, Danger and Scrubs. When Ken and Barbie opened up their consular in Jerusalem, the Humaniverse was not happy. No, I must admit, they didn't like that. You know, no one's perfect. Who's singing? Certainly ain't. No, that's me. Mumford didn't sing in that band. He'd done some backing vocals and they were excellent. Right, so check this out. This will blow your balls. This geezer's a funeral director.
For those of you who don't know me, my name's John. I'm a funeral director based.
You'd never guess he was a funeral director. A man who lives around corpses is bound to look like that after about a week. Nice one, Vincent. Machano Caprascia Toto. Here we go. So, sorry about that, but he does, you know, if he walked into your house, you'll go, do you work with bodies at all? Ghoul. But nonetheless, don't let that distract from what he's saying. No worries, mate. It was taken in as that. Check this out.
Milton Keynes. I run a funeral home called Milton Keynes Family Funeral Services, and a quick search online for that will find me and verify who I am. So many of you will know me, so I'll just give you an update as to where we are at this time, and it is the 6th of December 2021. So what we're seeing is a large number, an unnaturally large number of deaths due to heart attack, stroke, aneurysm, and these are all as a direct result of thrombosis, embolisms in the lungs, the legs, various places that's causing these deaths. These are well documented by the local coroners. These are well documented, across the country. Nobody seems to be concerned by the alarming rise in them. I used to see a blood clot very, very rarely, and now I've seen more this year than I have in the previous 14. To give you an idea, I've written to the Chief Coroner of England. He isn't concerned. I've had no response for weeks and weeks, and then I had an email from his secretary saying he's not interested. There you go. This is the guy who's supposed to be protecting us from harm. So
I'll put the link in after, Dennis.
Deaths. The other type of death that I'm seeing, which is more distressing for me personally, is people who are getting sick now as their immune systems finally give up. So they've had the jabs maybe 6-8 months ago, and it's been eating away at their immune system, and now they're struggling to fight off things like the common cold. So we're in winter, and as you'll be aware, there are colds and flus about in this time of the year. These people can't fight it off, and the government are very quick to label it Omicron, a new variant, and they are sick, but they're sick with basic things like the common cold. Their immune systems are decimated, and if you think about it logically, much like, for example, a cancer patient. So when you get a cancer patient and they're on chemotherapy, it decimates their immune system, and one of the things that they have to be extremely careful of is because they've got no immune system, a basic common cold or a flu can kill them. And this is what we're seeing now in these jab recipients.
I'll put the link to that in the channel, into the chat. It might help a few people who are having conversations with family members and what have you. The show is about to start. Give me a couple of seconds. That's shocking, isn't it? It's absolutely shocking. I mean, it's not new. It's not new news, but when you hear it from the horse's mouth like that, someone who knows. I mean, I'm not a scientist. I'm not a medical expert or any of the above, but I thought it would be fair and allowed, dare I say that, to show you what that bloke said. Listen, I'd like to thank Rags and Moslab for looking after the place. I'd like to thank everyone who donated. I'd like to thank everyone in the chat for chatting away. I'd like to thank all the newcomers. I stream twice a day, about 9:30, 10 o'clock UK time in the morning, between about 3:30 and 4:30 start time, UK time in the afternoon. So there'll be one later. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Thanks for all the newcomers. If some of you could subscribe to my Substack, you might even enjoy the stories. I'll never monetize it. It's totally free. There's 14 stories in the archive. I'm going to play a bit of music for the outro like I always do. Feel free to throw a couple of quid at the stream if you enjoyed it. If you can't do that, don't worry. It's been an absolute privilege to stream to you, and I will see you later on tonight. Well, it'll be today for you. Ta-da! Boom!
Everyone knows I'm gonna be the first man down. All my friends are sick of having me around. Nobody wants to give a buddy one last break. Can't go on taking all a man can take. Life is a curse, it only gets worse, and the world don't watch you drown. Maybe my mind will fail to ever find the point. I'm going deep, deep down underwater. Gonna make my grave underneath the wave. I'm going deep, deep down underwater. Gonna lay my head riverbed. Looking back, I rejected every place I stayed. A woman says I'm lying in the bed I've made. She says warriors don't give up before the war begins. So I get high to justify the mess I'm in. People get mad, people get sad, but at least they have a cause. I struggle to feel emotion I can really trust. I'm going deep, deep down underwater. Gonna make my
Sorry, people. What? Don't go yet. I refreshed my entropy because, to be honest with you, I thought that's a bit low, and I usually get a few more entropies, and so I refreshed it while the music was playing. And Mr. MF said, "But what about my entropy grift?" So I had a look, and Mr. MF dropped a lady in. That shock is like the rush I was addicted to 9 years ago. Never thought I'd get beyond it. I'm assuming he's referring to that electric shock video I think I showed. Thank you, Mr. MF. But Zeitgeist dropped two $50 Australia ones. 50 nicker pre-Xmas bonus. We are lost without a strong, dominant USA. When all this madness ends, Florida stroke Texas are first on my wish list. Starting a new job again tomorrow. Less time away from home. More Dangerfield. More Scrubs. More. And he also said, 50 nicker pre-Xmas bonus, starting a new job again tomorrow. Less time away from home. More Dangerfield, more Scrubs, more. Zeitgeist, if that was an accident and that you sent to, let me know and I can probably return one of them. But that's very kind. Thank you, Mr. MF, and thank you, Zeitgeist. That's very generous of you. But email me if one of them was an accident. Sorry I missed them while the show was going on. And thank you, Mr. MF, for alerting me to that. Sometimes I need to refresh the old entropy, and I'm glad I did. So good call. I'll get back to the show now.
underneath the wave. I'm going deep, deep down underwater. Gonna lay my head on the riverbed.
Yeah, a like would be handy. Nice one, Rags. Nice one, Martin. Appreciate it. We got there in the end, didn't we? Cheers, Moles lad.
I'm going deep, deep down underwater. Gonna make my grave.
Wow.
Underneath the wave. I'm going deep, deep down underwater.
Okay, I'll tell.
Gonna lay my head.
But let us know, though, seriously. Thank you, Zeitgeist. That's very kind.
Deep, deep down underwater. Gonna make my grave underneath the wave. I'm going deep.
Stay optimistic, people. Stay strong. Thank you, Grim. Last one. Cheers, Dab for always catch the end intro. Nice one, people. It's been an absolute pleasure. I'll see you later on today. Between R3 and R4 UK time, I'll start. Depends how my shocking day's work is going. Hoita!